Hello and welcome to Reel to Reel. This past week, we marked the feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, an important day for the Latino community. The Diocesan Latino Ministry office celebrated with the arrival of a new leader for their ministry. Springfield Bishop Mitchell Rosansky recently named Deacon Pedro Rivera-MORAN to head the Office of Latino Ministries for the Diocese of Springfield. The new director takes over as the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops sets a wide net to engage the Hispanic community in the church. Kathy Harrington sat down with Deacon Pedro to talk about the future of the Latino ministry in the diocese.
I've been working very close with the Latino ministry for many years.
Meet the new director of Latino Ministries for the Diocese of Springfield, Pedro Rivera-MORAN. Ordained to the permanent diaconate in 2005, he moved from Puerto Rico to Massachusetts 3 decades ago.
I came because of the Latino population. I came to participate in a Latino movement that's called El Camino. It's not a Latino movement, it just happens that the people in Westfield are members of the Covenant community.
And with a background in education, sociology, and human resource development, Deacon Pedro has the necessary skills for the job.
I've been pretty much involved for over 15 years with the diocesan Latino ministry, kind of helping out here and there. I've been member of the core team of people who have been kind of coordinating, organizing the events that the Latino ministry has supported for quite a while, for quite a few years.
In addition, Deacon Pedro has been teaching religious education and faith formation classes. His work has taken him to many of the parishes that serve the predominantly Latino and Hispanic populations, contacts that will help him in this new role.
I know people, I serve people, I feel that I'm respected by most of the people who are involved in the Hispanic movements in Western Mass.
Making sure he understands the role of the office and the events and activities already planned, Deacon Pedro says are among his priorities. He also wants to make sure whatever happens in the Latino community is done in sync with the English-speaking community.
I want to figure out how to help, and this is something that I think is relatively new, help the pastors, the parochial vicars, and the deacons that have Latinos in their parish to become culturally aware. I have this vision of having a cultural awareness program that would help them, not just with the language, but with why do we do the things we do.
Deacon Pedro points to the lack of Spanish-speaking priests as one area that needs to be addressed. Offering Mass in Spanish is one thing, but if a priest isn't fluent, the sacrament of reconciliation may not be available.
If you don't know English and there's no Spanish-speaking priest in the parish, it's hard to go to confession. There's a sector of the population that doesn't drive. There's a sector of the population who's elder, and elder people are more prone to go to confession. We have the resources to provide pastoral support, education support, formation support, liturgical support. I think we have to start working on vocations so that we have more Spanish-speaking.
Evangelizing in Spanish is the mission of the Sisters of Perpetual Help, serving the Diocese of Springfield from their home in Mexico. Deacon Pedro has worked with them on Encuentro activities.
They're awesome. They're a true blessing for the Latinos, for the church in general here in Massachusetts.
The sisters, now working in Franklin County, knock on doors to evangelize.
It is mission ground because there is a huge Latino population here. Especially Latino population that's coming from South America, Latin America, Central America, whatever. And they need help, spiritual as well as practical.
Within the Hispanic community, evangelization happens through many ministries and activities, says Deacon Pedro. Juan de 23, Cursillo, retreats, the Good Friday breakfast, and the men's and women's conferences.
Right now, with all this movement of Maria in Puerto Rico, I know quite a few people from this parish who are making sure that the Puerto Ricans that come to this general area are being loved. And that's evangelization if I haven't seen it. Many of us are trained to always add a grain of spiritual salt to all our conversations.
How parishes are evangelizing, serving their Latino and Hispanic parishioners, that's what Encuentro is all about. The 5th Encuentro is set for September, and the new director of Latino Ministries will lead the delegation from Western Massachusetts. The parish, local, and regional process is underway now and will result in a pastoral plan to include, to better serve, and to grow Hispanic Catholics and their role in the church.
This Encuentro is going to shape my priorities. I think it's a beautiful opportunity to come in now, knowing what's going on, and as a result of the regional Encuentro, we will have a diocesan pastoral plan for the Latino ministries of the diocese.
Deacon Pedro says the Encuentro will help Latinos be part of the Catholic mainstream.
Sometimes it's hard to integrate when there's a cultural clash, where you don't understand why they're doing that, you misinterpret.
The new Latino Ministries director says learning to integrate, how to come together, not to clash, not to be separate, is essential.
But it won't happen just by saying, I want everybody together. We have to make conscious efforts to bring people together, to include, to be inclusive.
He says after being in Massachusetts for 30 years, it's still a challenge to break down the barriers. Now, though, he's in a new position to make a difference. For Real to Real, I'm Kathy Harrington.
Deacon Pedro Rivera-MORAN will continue to serve at St. Mary's Parish in Westfield, but you can find him in the Office of Latino Ministry, which is located in the Bishop McGuire Pastoral Center in Springfield, 25 hours a week.